Hello and welcome back to Invincible Asia. I'm George Clark and this is Videotape Rewind, a new show where I take a nostalgic trip with you down memory lane and share with you some of the finest VHS tapes that I grew up with and bought when I was a young teen. In fact, I'm still buying them today, which really doesn't benefit me or anyone else apart from the person selling them, but sometimes it's nice just to get your hands on a little hidden gem that you missed 30 years ago. So join me as I take a look back at some forgotten titles, some incredible artwork, plenty of blue mouldy tapes, and of course some genuine classics that you may once have had your hands on yourself. Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia. So believe it or not, my VHS collection used to be twice as large as it is here now, but over the years I've had to downsize, of course, for many reasons. Moving house, for example, traveling around the world doesn't really help when you're carrying 1200 videotapes with you, but also I had bad video players that would chew them up and spit them out. I would lose some along the way. I would loan them to friends. I would never get them back. And this videotape is one such example, one that was chewed up initially by my old video player, and I had to track it down again because I kind of missed it, and in a weird way. But this is such a fun movie, and one from my childhood that I picked up for about £3 initially as an ex-rental, and I did enjoy it. For the most part. It was not what I expected. I didn't understand the film sort of world at that stage, and certainly in comparison to the Hong Kong movies I was watching, that was not really what I was used to, let's just say. But that said, I have learned to appreciate it. I did track it down again on eBay because that, as I say, that initial videotape went missing, and that is this 1986 classic from the Philippines, Ninja Kidz Phantom Force, which I just adore. It is fantastic, and I have loved it even more as I've got older because it is a joy to watch. There is something special about this movie. Known as Ninja Kidz in other territories, or in the States, Ninja Kidz and the Samurai Sword, this is pure Power Ranger stuff the whole way through, with some fantastic martial arts battles. I have to say, there's a lot of great martial arts action to be had with this movie. But this is one that, again, this is my second copy of this movie. My first, I remember picking up in Belfast in an ex-rental. So we used to have these ex-rental video stores, retail stores all over the place, and it was just wonderful because I could spend the whole day going around many different stores checking out these videotapes, and I just friggin' loved it. I went into one in particular in Belfast. I found Ninja Kidz Phantom Force, and it had, I'm nearly sure it had a holographic front cover. If not holographic, definitely a thicker card sleeve on the front. The side and the back was just paper thin as normal, but for some reason it had this cardboard slip. I'm nearly sure it was holographic. Anyway, got it, loved it, didn't appreciate it as much, as I say, and I've tracked it down now, this second copy, on eBay from Trans Global Pictures. Now this runs for, it was quite a lengthy one, 115 minutes, so nearly 2 hours in length, which is quite surprising that didn't get released cut back then. This was initially put out there from Trans Global in 1987. And it is, if you can imagine, Indiana Jones meets Power Rangers meets Goonies. Ninja Kidz movies are like, I mean, they're all over the place. There's so many iterations of Ninja Kid movies. One in particular, another from my childhood, which I adored, and I will get to it eventually, was Ninja Kidz Kiss of Death with Alexander Lowray. One of my all-time favorites. I friggin' love that movie. Learned eventually that it was cut together from Ninja Tiger 1, 2 and 3, which is brilliant. But there were so many different types of Ninja Kids. There was Ninja Kids, of course the Americans got in there and made their own Ninja Kids versions, but I never really took to them. I always enjoyed the Asian movies much more, of course I did. But that said, yes, this one I couldn't wait to get my hands on again and get back to it. I'm really hoping that somewhere down the line, Vinegar Syndrome would be a great one to put this out on Blu. Absolutely. I think Vinegar Syndrome would be the perfect people to pick this one up, clean it, restore it in 2 or 4K and get it out there on Blu-ray, because I still think that this movie has got an audience for it, definitely. So here we have this cover, as you can see, very, very similar to that of the Jackie Chan low-way trans-global releases in terms of its layout and its artwork. The sleeve of it here, I'm going to pop this cover out actually and make it just a wee bit easier for you, if I can just pop that down without dropping it, because I never kind of thought about the setup of this video and I haven't given myself much space or shelf space to set things on. Okay, so yes, unfortunately not a double-sided, and this is why I wanted to do these videos. This is why I want to do Videotape Rewind, because back then when I was collecting these from the age of 12, that was my first videotape of Alexander Loray's Ninja USA. My nan got me it for a few quid. There was no cover in it. I didn't know what to expect, but I loved it, and that was it. I was determined to become the biggest Kung Fu collector in Northern Ireland, which I kind of think I've hit that point a number of times. But the videotapes started to grow, and of course when you're 12 years old you don't really have a lot of money. Maybe you do nowadays. Back then in the 80s and 90s I didn't, and it was very hard to get my hands on whatever I could. So whenever somebody gave me a few quid for, as my old aunts and uncles would say, oh, here's a few quid for a bar of chocolate, I would go straight to the video store and look for any Kung Fu X rentals. And that's how it started. So here we have this wonderful cover, but I think I was trying to make a point that we didn't have YouTube in those days. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have ways of sharing these amazing movies with people like we're doing today with these boutique Blu-ray labels and 4K labels. This is why I want to get into this and start sharing with you my VHS tapes, as opposed to just the cleaned up and restored stuff that we are getting today, because there are some genuine classics here for sure. This is it, Ninja Kids Phantom Force, a wonderful, wonderful fun show, very much a kids movie to some degree, but still with a good hearty amount of martial arts action and some violence, as well as magic and sort of mystical arts and all that kind of thing. And that's why I say it's very Power Rangers to some degree. I'm going to pop this cover back in and then share with you what's inside, because you know there's no booklet, there's no double disc. Inside we have got this videotape. Yes, for those of you that are under the age of 15, maybe 20, this is a videotape. And this videotape isn't in bad nick, I have to say. It's still pretty good quality. I'm going to drop things here, but bear with me. I should have rethought this whole thing. that's the whole setup. Anyway, came of course with this wonderful sticker. Sometimes, often when I picked up X rentals, they were ripped off and I didn't know if I was getting the right movie or not. But then we would always pop that wee button. I can't believe I'm teaching you about videotapes. Fuck, I'm old. Pop that wee button in and pull this back, the top back, and you'll see the film in there. And often, if that was unraveled by your video player that would chew it up, you would try and get your tape out carefully without snapping it, and then use your finger or a pen or a pencil to pop in the wheels and turn it round to wind the tape in, very much like cassette tapes, which the retro is always coming back, isn't it? Retros never really went away. It's always there. I don't think we're going to see videotapes coming back, unfortunately, or fortunately. But I think what I loved most about videos, and the quality is shit. I mean, totally and utterly terrible. When I'm doing comparisons from my videotapes to the Blu-rays that are released today, of course they're not going to stand up to that at all. But even just watching the videotape, just going back to that and seeing it and seeing that how poor that quality is. I mean, I watched Eastern Condors recently on VHS, just to get a feel, because I always loved the opening of the Made in Hong Kong releases with their trailers and their music. And I just love that setup. And it was nice to go back to it and see it. But the quality, my God, you would think that all these videotapes were bootlegs. But there's bootlegs here that are even worse. So we are so spoiled today, and this is probably why I'm wanting to share these with you. And I can't show you the quality of it, unfortunately, because I don't have the time to get into all that. But yes, for sure, this was my thing. This is my only bad habit, and it's been my only bad habit pretty much my whole life. But I will go through all of my collection with you. I will share with you the VHSs that I have. It'll be nice to talk with you in the comments about what I have got here, what you may have, what you want to get rid of that I might want. You never know. Although I'm running out of so much space, it's ridiculous. But this one is definitely staying with me for sure. I'm not getting rid of this second copy again. What else can I share with you? Oh, on the side there you can see it's VHS and Betamax coded here. As you can see, Betamax unfortunately will always hailed as the better of the video players and never really took off. I have a few Betamax videos here. I think of a Mad Mission 2 Betamax somewhere there. But yeah, totally different era. And Betamax never. And Betamax is like speaking to a foreign word to you. If you are under the age of 30, you're not going to get it. Maybe under the age of 40. But Gold Screen Cinema Group released 1987. So, 1987, 36 years of age. This videotape is 36 years. Dear God. Wow. Anyway, don't know where I'm going to go with this show. Just thought it'd be fun to share these videos with you. Let me know what you think down below, please. And again, if you ever had the chance to watch Ninja Kidz Phantom Force, let me know what your thoughts are. Does it bring back any memories? Is there a little hint of nostalgia there for you in seeing this VHS? Oh, I do miss them. I have to say, I miss going into video stores so much. If I could spend one day in the 80s, I would get round as many video stores as I could. Screw everything else that's important. That's what I want to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Join me again for another videotape rewind, and I'll see what else I'm going to pull off the shelf. So thank you once again for watching another video here on Invincible Asia. Don't forget you can check out hundreds of others here on the channel. You can also show your continued support by heading over to my new merch store or by checking out invincibleasia.com, where you can read my full movie reviews and follow me on Instagram @InvincibleAsia. Until next time though, enjoy your Kung Fu and I will see you soon.